where we keep it real about relationships, friendships, and navigating life's hustle. Today we're diving deep into the game of balancing work, entrepreneurship, and keeping those tight connections alive. It's all about being true to yourself. And you know you gotta address the elephant in the room, social media. From double taps to DM slides, we'll break down how it's changing the game of relationships. Join me Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on Fire 716 Radio.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Unplugged. So today I have with me Kesey LaFleur. How are you?
I'm good. You're in trouble.
You're
in trouble.
That's what's up. So before we started recording, you told me that you're about to drop the name LaFleur. Why is that?
I just want to be more original. Not necessarily that I'm not doing that now. I just want to more be myself. I'm starting to make like a different type of music than I was before. So I kind of want to just like stray away from that name, and especially because I got it from somebody else, I want to just like completely just be me.
Who did you get the name from?
Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane. Okay. So is it just going to be Kesey and that's it, or do you want anything else to like say like this is me, this is who I am?
I think I'm just going to just do the Kesey, just because for the most part when people listen to my music, I just say Kesey. You know what I mean? I'm always just really addressed as Kesey, and people already have a hard enough time like pronouncing that already. So I just leave it at one name. You know what I mean?
Okay. And then you're like a double threat, I would say. So how did you get into music and producing?
So music was always in my life for real. But it really started with me and my friends. We were always chilling in one of my bros' computer room. We were like probably like 14, 15. And then we were just looking up beats on YouTube, and we're like, we should just start rapping, just like trying some stuff. It was like 6 or 7 of us. And then we stopped. We dropped a couple of mixtapes in probably like 10th grade. And then we all stopped for a little bit. My friend Kaiba, he kept going. He really is the one that like got all of us into it. We were at my friend Jahan's house, rest in peace. We were at his house. He brought all his music stuff over there. It was super hot, probably like August or something like that. It was super duper hot in the house, no AC, no nothing. But it was just fun. We were with our friends and we were just looking at beats and stuff like that. And then we all found some stuff and we just all freestyling together, and then it just went off from there. And then with the producing, as it went on, because a couple of us continued to keep rapping, but I starting to see that like these beats aren't free. Like, especially when you want to drop music, you got to pay these people. And I was like, I don't got that to be doing it right now. So I was learning from my friend his name is Hars. He's his producer. He made a couple of my beats when I first started. And then I was like, yo, I'm not going to be able to see you too much. So it's like, can you teach me how you do this? And then he taught me how to do that. And then ever since then, my life is just, you know what I mean? So
elevated.
I appreciate him so much.
So you're a self-taught engineer, kind of?
In a sense, I was given the blueprint, and then I just like really went from there.
What are some things that you have learned while learning to make your own beats?
It's mostly from other people, but like I say, like making it louder. You know what I mean? Like my biggest problem at one point was like I wasn't making my beats. Like I wasn't making them like not do what they were supposed to. It was always like too calm because I was always like super nonchalant and like a minimalist, and just like as long as I could hear it was enough. And then just being around certain people, they just showing me like certain adjustments I got to do. You know what I mean? Certain things, and then it was just I don't know. I can't really pinpoint on like what I learned, but it's more so like the things that I've learned, especially from being around other producers, was you know what I mean? So I think that's really what it is, just learning from them.
What kind of computer do you use to make your beats?
I got an HP Pavilion. And crazy, it's a laptop, like a gamer laptop. So, but I used to have this little Lenovo touchscreen thing. It was so crazy. I missed that laptop.
And what's the software that you use?
Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops.
FL Studio 21.
Okay. Would you ever consider going to school for engineering or anything to better, or do you think you're fine just where you're at?
Not that I'm fine. I'd rather just learn from the people around me. I really don't have the patience for school. Like I can't do it. I can't even sit down. If I had to do some homework, especially for a class, it's over with.
Really?
It's over with.
Wow, that's crazy. So, do you have a team manager or is it just you?
I don't have a manager, but I do have a team around me, like especially those dudes over at Firestill. Um, like those, they really like they took me under their wing. So I'm like a part of their team, but like more so an affiliate. But I also have a couple of people around me that are pretty much my team. We go by like the troublemakers because I have like the you're in trouble. So well, it's not even like an official name for us, but that's just what we call ourselves. So I do have a little team around me. I love all of them.
Where did You're in Trouble come from?
Um, I really hate giving up this sauce because people be like, "Oh, for real, nigga." But nah, I'm joking. So you know the song "Dez" by Migos? Like
No,
that's from Culture One, and it was like, "You in trouble? It's in trouble."
never heard it.
No, I never heard that.
No.
It's like, oh, fresh out the bed.
As much as you say it, it's
Oh
not
man.
good.
But basically, it came from that, and I heard that, and I was like, "Yo, that is crazy." And that was around the time that was like probably like a year before I started rapping, and of course it was Quavo who said it. And growing like always, people used to call me my Quavo growing up. You know what I mean? So really, I got it from that, and then I just took it from that. And I was like, instead of saying y'all in trouble, I was like, you're in trouble. And then I just kept saying it, kept saying it, kept saying it, and then it just stuck with me. So,
How long have you been rapping for? Oh, you just answered that. Sorry.
but really, like 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6 years. And what have you learned from it so far?
It's stressful, but only when you putting your mind in the wrong place with it. You know what I mean? Like you have to be serious about this, and that's the stressful part about it. But it's like it's so much good that can come from it. You know what I mean? Especially like I'm the type of person that like who gets happy from inspiring people or even just doing the slightest thing to help them change something. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm feeling a certain way. You know what I mean? I don't like to talk about it, but I put it in the song and I think like, dang, like maybe I shouldn't talk about this. You know what I mean? And then I think to myself like, maybe somebody feels exactly how I'm feeling. They didn't know how to put it into words. So and then sometimes it's somebody will say, I get a DM and say somebody say like, yo, like you was really talking that mess in that song. Like I felt you, bro. And I was like, man, thank you. You know what I mean? So that's really like the best. You know what I mean? And like there's really nothing better than that.
Basically, that's your coping mechanism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What do you feel has been your most vulnerable song so far?
Um, I have a song. It probably I think it came out like 4 years ago. I got a song called Thin Ice. You know what I mean? It's like really in the name. I was just talking about walking on thin ice, and then it's either that or I have this song called E.T. You know what I mean? It's pretty much about like trying to get back home, like you calling somebody home and trying to get back there. You know what I mean? So
Just heartbroken?
what? What? I even say this bar and I was like, I just want to know what my name is inside your phone.
Oh, you was hurt.
Yeah, that's the type of music I make. You know what I mean? And like, I don't really like to make that type of music. You know what I mean? Because nobody likes to feel like that. But like,
it's needed.
Yeah, you know what I
Because when
mean?
you're going through a heartbreak, it's like, oh, like
You know what I mean? I'm so and like it really just stopped at like having like I'm the type of person where if I'm sad, I'm gonna go listen to sad songs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of all the time listening to sad songs, I'm like, yo, let me go make some and then go listen to those. You know what I mean? That's really how like I address the feelings sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I talk about it with myself on the mic, listen back. I'm like, all right, bet. I know to not let myself go in the direction to feel like that again. You know what I mean? So that's really what that did for me.
Do you remember every song that you perform? Or like every song that you've written, performing it?
There'd be not at all. Probably like if I hear it, you know what I mean. Like I listen to it one time, and I'd be like, oh shoot, you know what I mean. And then like you know what I mean, because like some of those songs are written so fast, you know what I mean. Like I'll be making a beat, and then I just pick up my phone, start writing, boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean. And it's not like I rush it. It's just like my mind just be racing. So I just have so much to talk about. So have those songs like I record like sometimes like 10 songs in a day. You know what I mean?
10 songs in a day is
Yeah.
crazy.
But it's just like that's just how I work, though. You know what I mean? It doesn't like. It's not necessarily that I'm working faster than anybody else. You know what I mean? Because like I'm more so saying this just so like, cause this is what I know some people want to hear. I think all the songs be fire. You know what I mean? But you know, some people say like you make 10 songs quick. You know what I mean? At least like you're probably gonna have like 3 or 4 good ones. That's really what I go into it with. But it's like putting up shots in the gym. You know what I mean? You got to put up a lot of them. You know what I mean? Not every one of them gonna drop, but a couple of them gonna hit. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
And
Yeah.
you want the goal is to have all of them hit. You know what I mean? So I'm just that's just really like the process. For
Do you go based off the feedback that you receive in the studio, or do you go based off of what you feel?
um, it really depends on like how the session going. Like um, the song will really, cause I really like I want to say like I let my beats carry the song, but like I'll know if they're gonna like the song based off the beat. You know what I mean? Like when I'm in there making the beat and I see my friends in there rocking, I'm like, all right, bet. I just gotta do my thing now. So as soon as like if it's a beat that I see nobody else feeling, and I'm not saying like they're my friends and the people in the studio's opinion to matter the most to me, but I just know like if the excitement can't even get past what's in the studio, it probably shouldn't leave it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I really just kind of go off that, and that's really if I have people in the studio with me. Like if I'm by myself, if it really just like I need the beat to bump, like the beat has to bump. So if the beat is bumping and it's doing what it's supposed to do, then like I'm going right off of that.
So you just performed at my brother's event, the Buffalo Summer Jam.
Hmm.
Well, shout out to Kevion.
Shout out to Kev.
What was that like?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I was super nervous at first because it was just like a different crowd, but it was so fun. Like the people in there, like it's real. It was crazy. I threw some merch out there. I sold so much merch out there. I appreciate everybody who came out there and bought some stuff. But it was it was different to be honest. And then I brought my friend VVX out there. She came out there and tore it up too. But that it was crazy. And then seeing Tommy perform, like every time I see Tommy perform,
Shout out to Tommy.
shout out to Tommy. Every time we got some music on the way too. But every time I see him perform, it's crazy.
He definitely gained, like, I was watching him. I was like, yo, he gained a new fan.
Yeah, his energy is different. He after I performed, he had said to me because we got this thing like, if you're gonna have a great time, let me get a hell yeah. And then so like I want to say we started doing that around the same time. I really don't know when he started doing it, but after the show, he was like, "How you gonna steal that from me?" I was like, "Yo, bro, I'm pretty sure we started doing it at the same time." You know what I mean? But me and him, like every time we perform at a show together, it's always crazy. One day me and him are gonna be on roll out together. It's gonna be crazy. But just seeing that, seeing the THC boys perform. I seen this Nolo. I think his name's like Nolo the Slayer or something like that. Excuse me if I'm saying his name wrong. But I seen him perform. I never heard of him before that, and I was so turned. Like I was like, yo, this is great music. You know what I mean? Like I just love listening to new people. And then I heard Peso perform on because every time Peso performs, it's always like you seen the boss perform. Like he just has like boss energy on stage. He don't really got to do too much jumping around, but you gonna feel him. And then it definitely helped that 2 of the songs he performed, I produced for him.
Oh, really?
Man,
So that was like,
yeah, I'm out there screaming everywhere. Like he walking up close to the stage, I got the camera out there, like, you know what I mean? Like, I love that. That was a great night.
yeah, I felt like watching it. I was like, this is so dope because just seeing like everybody come together, it was like, I love seeing stuff like that. Um, so being that that was a Buffalo thing, and we're from Niagara Falls, do you feel like Niagara Falls could do something like that?
Oh, I've already felt it. I already felt like that. Respectfully, we were doing stuff like that already, but it was like COVID. When COVID came around, I felt like the local scene started to like one more so like the local like concert scene started to go down a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I feel like people were like hesitant to come to shows again, but now it's like starting to come back. You know what I mean? Like you even see Percy putting all these events together and stuff like that. So he's really bringing it's like attention being brought to the city.
it is attention being brought to the city, but the attention he's bringing is from
Hmm.
artists who are already developed.
Yeah.
My question is, do you think that Niagara Falls artists can all come together and do something like that?
Yes. And so it's not even about the artist, because like you put the opportunity in front of the artist, we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do it. It's more so like just convincing the people to get there. You know what I mean? Because it's like you know what I mean. Like it's easy to get people to come out to see like all these people. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
these bigger people, they're
Right.
established already. People listen to their music already. So it's more so about just getting people in the right, getting people together, and just making it happen. You know what I mean?
And I also think that it is based off of the person who is throwing it. Like, if you
Yeah.
see that an event is being thrown by Percy, you're gonna want to go because it's
Mhm.
like, yo, like he has the best stuff out right
Exactly.
now. So I get, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So and like even like you know what I mean? Like I was using him for example. Exactly. You know what I mean? But like easily, like he could get probably like 20 of us on a show together. Everybody gonna come to that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Especially like around here, all it is more so getting people to like feel like that's the move. You know what I mean? Like if you convince people that's the move, everybody's gonna go.
Because there really is so much. There's so much talent in the city, and I feel like we don't shed enough light on it. Like, I feel like there's so much stardom, there's so much potential, and we just don't have the right opportunities, I guess,
Yeah,
for
that's
like.
really what it is. And then the ones that we do get, they're always like so like iffy. You know what I mean? Like you offer them, but it's like with like half a hand. You know what I mean? Like it's like as soon as you offer, you start to grab it, it's just pulling back. You know what I mean? So it's more so you just got. I feel like even just being from here and you want to do anything, like any type of artistry, not even just music, you have to be built for it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like you got to be built for everything that comes with it because I feel like just even being from here is like it's like a dark cloud over us. You know what I mean? So it's like once somebody just got to make it out. You know what I mean? As soon as somebody makes it out, boom, that's everybody. You know what I mean? But it's just more so like, and it's not even just us. I just feel like there's so there's so much like competition. You know what I mean? And like competition is cool because like somebody has to be the best. You know what I mean? Somebody has to be the worst. But there's too much focus on who's going to be the best and who's going to be the worst and who does it first or whatever. That nobody is just looking like, hey, this person hot right now. You know what I mean? Even if like you don't gotta show him the most love. You know what I mean? Go work with him. You know what I mean? So many people are scared to work with each other or even ask to work with each other. You know what I mean? So it really just gotta. It really just have to start with like the creators. You know what I mean?
I think there's enough room for everybody to shine.
Yeah.
It's just you got to get there
Yeah.
first, but I definitely think there's enough room for everybody to shine. Do you feel like it is a popularity contest here?
Yes, but it's like one of those things like you gotta give them something to support. You know what I mean? Like I noticed that too. At first, I was looking at it like that, and then I noticed like if you give them something to support, they're gonna support it. You know what I mean? Like it has to it doesn't even have to be the most popular, you know what I mean? Like if something is hot, you know what I mean, or just looks good or something like that, you know what I mean? Or even if like you see one person wearing it, like I feel like it's like all chain reaction, you know what I mean? So, but it is kind of a popularity contest, but even the popular people are not famous, you know what I mean? So like the popularity thing doesn't even really matter because the people who everybody see as popular, they're not doing anything to blow them up, you know what I mean?
It's the work that you put in behind the doors to get you to
Exactly.
that space.
You know what I mean? So if you're gonna be popular, you gotta work harder than everybody that they think you're better than. You know what I mean? Because at that point it's like what is you know what I mean? Like being popular is almost like a voucher. You know what I mean? Like everybody likes this dude or whatever, but it's like what for, you know what I mean? Like beyond your city, what are you doing? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like you can be the best here, but it's like, okay, if you're the best here, make something happen for us, you know what I'm saying? And not saying like it's depending on one person, but I'm just saying like once you get like that label or whatever, you know what I mean? That's why like the popularity stuff is just like it's so lame. You know what I mean? But it's all you know what I mean, you have to be popular to get big. But it's just like you know what I mean? It's just like to different extents. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. Was there any like thing that you learned at that event?
No, literally that. Like if you give people something to support, they're gonna support it. Like first song I seen like everyone, like they were feeling it. You know what I mean? But it was like, all right, boom. Towards the middle of it, the middle of the song, I was like, I got. You know what I mean? I was watching one video back. I seen one dude came up there like bopping his head. I was like, oh, I needed that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, bet. Second song I performed, and I said something about I said like she my little potato, we get baked and then I mash it. And then I seen everybody in the crowd just like, oh, just shaking their head. And I was like, all right, bet. You know what I mean? And then as the songs go on, I see, you know what I mean? So I was like, you give them something like, you know what I mean? Like you gotta give them something to support. Once you know what I mean? And then I started the merchandise and stuff like that. After that, and then I signed my first ever autograph.
How long has that person been a fan, or were they?
He literally met me that night.
Really?
Like, he said like it was so crazy. Like after the show, he called me Queasy. Like if you like anybody that knows me, don't call me Queasy. It's Keese or Keesey, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that's how I was like, all right. And then he was told my bro, he's like, yo, can you get bro over there? And then he was like, yo, he wants you to sign his shirt. I signed his shirt. After that, I had to go outside for a second, collect myself. You know what I mean? That was crazy.
What did it feel like?
I don't know. It was super. It was different. You know what I mean? Like I really don't even. I can't even like remember how I felt. I was grateful to say the least because just to show that like and appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I already feel appreciated, but it's more so like somebody that I didn't know appreciated my presence. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, like he don't even know. Like that was my first autograph ever. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's real dope.
So,
Do you have any upcoming projects?
I do. I just the worst when it comes to like dropping because I just want to perfect everything right now. You know what I mean? But I have some things that I produced dropping like VVX name. We didn't name the tape yet, but me and her have a collab project I produced. My friend Stony Styling, I produced some whole tape for him too. Me and this dude Bino J from Buffalo. It's crazy. Me and him just met like 6 7 months ago, and we got a project out already. It's called Everything Is Flawless. We just dropped some merch for it too. Um, but I do have You're in Trouble 5 coming out soon. But I probably realistically won't drop that until like December, November, December. But also I'm putting together a little producer tape, like kind of how like Metro Boomin did, where he had a whole bunch of rappers rapping on his beats. So I'm gonna do something like that, but also get myself on a couple of the features on there too, rap with a couple of the people on there. But right now I'm kind of like recruiting them.
Can you tell who you're gonna put on or no?
The people that I named already will be on there. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be. It's already a couple people confirmed. Like I started working on it a couple months ago, but I really just had to like lock into some other stuff. I started making clothes. You know what I mean? I started a new job, so it was just a lot of stuff that was going on that I couldn't really lock in the way I needed to. But then I started getting back in the studio with all these artists and stuff like that, and then we just doing exactly what needs to be done. So I know that probably by the middle of fall, probably around like I say October, probably before Halloween, probably have it out.
I think that's the perfect time to drop music.
Mm-hmm.
That is the perfect because that's when you like everybody's starting to get
crib.
back in the house, you know, so you actually got time to listen to it.
I
Like
swear.
that's good.
Yeah, I always try to drop music accordingly to like when people are going to be in the crib and stuff like that. That's why I really don't even like. I know like I'm not the type of person that like don't even put it on myself to try to drop a summer jam. You know what I mean? Like if people gonna like it, you know what I mean. If I drop a song that people like, cool. But I never really put it on myself to like drop a summer jam. You know what I mean? Because I be making like love songs. You know what I mean? You're not trying to listen to love songs in the summer. You know what I mean?
But even if you pay attention to when the summer jams are dropped, they're never dropped in the summer. They're always dropped like
That's true.
and at the end of like April or May or something. They're never dropped during the summer
because they're getting you ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think you have like the right idea, definitely.
Yeah. Especially like when it's cold, like you said, when it's cold, people listening to music, and then like every year I do Merry Christmas, like my Christmas series.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I'm about to. I think I just did 5, but I'm about to drop 6. You know, what I mean? I'm probably gonna drop those until like 20. You know what I mean? However many years I'm still making music, but You're in Trouble 6? Nah, well, I'm talking 2 ahead. My bad. Merry Christmas 6. It's gonna be crazy. I already made a couple of beats for it already, just to like start seeing like where I'm going with it. But that's probably the project I'm most excited for, because the Christmas ones are always like everybody's favorites, and it's just because of the name alone. So that's really it.
How do you balance working, having a clothing brand, rapping, and making beats?
I don't.
Really?
I just if I whenever I find time to do one, I just do it. You know what I mean? But
So you have to find that balance.
yeah, for the most part, yeah. But for the most part, it's really like work and then close. You know what I mean? If I stay up. Well, I guess I do balance it a little bit. I stay up usually until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Jesus.
Yeah, but I'm always like making beats that late. You know what I mean? And then I make a couple songs. Like my brother, and my roommate, they be hating that because I'm always up super late, especially when I'm doing my ad libs. I mean, like, hey, you're in trouble, and then but like I can't say it low. You know what I mean? It's an exclamation point at the end of it. You know what I mean? So I have to yell it. So it's just that's really the best way. The only thing that's really hard sometimes is like trying to find the time to get other people in the studio with me, because I really don't make too much music during the day, especially with my schedule. And then the days I do have off, I really don't be wanting to make music for other people just because I'd be so tired and I just don't want to be around other people.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm really starting to break out of that because I it's just I gotta find, because that's the life that I signed up for. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm just really trying to find a way to like get all that together.
How did you get into making clothes?
So really, a couple years ago, um, it started like my first mixtape. This kid made this logo for me, and it was I asked like, yo, we gotta make some shirts. And then this dude that he worked for made some shirts for me and stuff like that, and I started selling them. And then after that, I just took a little break. You know what I mean? I really didn't know what I was doing, but it was just cool to know I had to sell some merch. And then a couple years later, I tried it again. I was like, I really just I started getting impatient because I really didn't like going through anybody else. And then I said, um, April, I traded my boy Gadget. Appreciate you, Gadget. I traded my boy Gadget for the heat press, and then everybody started teaching me some stuff, and then just from there, but I learned a lot of stuff because I used to work with Say Less Lifestyle, and they were just teaching me so much stuff. Like I learned how to use the heat press.
He robbed me.
But
Not say less. Him. He robbed me.
I did not. I did not. I definitely thought you were something I don't know. I did not do that though. I did not do that. There's more to that.
Anyway.
But they were teaching me how to make all the clothes and stuff like that, how to use the heat press, how to like the websites to order the stuff I needed and stuff like that. So they made it so once I got my own material, I was already familiar with a lot of stuff. It was just super expensive. Like I bought my own Cricut. That that hurt my pockets.
My mom has a Cricut. You can do so much stuff with
For real.
that. Yeah.
I swear, it's like you can make your own little stickers. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Put them on your car and stuff like that. I tag it the whole time. It's bad.
Do you have a website?
I do. It's a Shopify shop website, but I really haven't been using it much because I really just been getting everything together. So I really haven't been promoting it, selling anything on there. I mostly just been selling out the crib pretty much. Whenever somebody asks for something, I sell it to them, or like especially if anybody needs me to ship it, I do all that and stuff like that too.
How do you keep track of all of that though if you're not doing it like on a website or anything?
Whenever somebody orders something, I get on it immediately. Especially if I'm free, I get on it. And or like if I'm at work and somebody wants something, and like I don't let them pay for anything until I'm ready. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
So more so like if if somebody hit me up for something, like that hoodie they want is not my problem until I respond to that message. You know what I mean? So they aren't like so for the most part you're not waiting too long for it. You know what I mean? So um, that's really the best way. So whenever somebody wants something, I put an order for it, or I write it down like such and such about this size, this color. You know what I mean? So when I go to order it, I know this is coming for them. Get that right out. You know what I mean? So it's really oh my god. it's not that hard, but it's just really like tedious because I do it by myself. So it's really just the shipping. That's the
Okay.
worst part.
So lastly, can you just tell us something that you would tell like future people who want to be artists or work in the
Be yourself. Don't be scared to like try something, especially when you're because what you're doing already is trying something. So don't be scared to try something or what you're trying. Um, Always be 100%, like go hard doing everything you're doing because the more you don't, you know what I mean. Every time you feel like you have to doubt yourself doing it, you're going to make bad work. Like always go 100%. If you want to try something, just try it. Like my biggest thing is like I rather be mad I messed up doing something than be mad that I didn't try to do it. You know what I mean? Like I always regret not doing something. So I'd rather learn from the mistake than like, you know what I mean? So just always try it. Don't be scared to try something. And if you need help, ask for it. That's the biggest thing. Like somebody's gonna be there to give you the help. Like don't be scared to ask for help and just try it.
Okay, thank you for watching J Unplugged. Tune in next week at Wednesday at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Welcome to J Unplugged, the podcast where we keep it real about relationships, friendships, and navigating life's hustle. Today we're diving deep into the game of balancing work, entrepreneurship, and keeping those tight connections alive. It's all about being true to yourself. And you know you gotta address the elephant in the room, social media. From double taps to DM slides, we'll break down how it's changing the game of relationships. Join me Wednesdays at 6 p.m. on Fire 716 Radio.